So for the third week in a row, we got some details on the upcoming action-adventure game Stellar Blade. This time with preload, in-size details, new box art showcase, and most importantly, new combat details. We got a lot to talk about in this one, so let's begin.
Oh my god!
What's up everybody, it's your boy Saga bringing you awesome fast information regarding all things PlayStation gaming. If you enjoy content that respects your time, hit the like button to get this video out to other gaming fans, but if you didn't, drop a dislike so I know exactly where to improve. So yeah, take a look at this screenshot for the box art for Stellar Blade. So as you can see, over in Japan, they have themselves the actual box art and are able to actually see not only the amazing work, but the actual requirements to play the game. Now, I know Shift Up is from South Korea, but the person taking this image is generally in Japan, so that's why I believe this is in Japan, of course. Now, before we break down the awesome details, I did want to point out, I went to my local GameStop today and didn't see this available in mine. I'm not sure if this is a Japanese thing, a Southeast Asian thing, or he just got lucky, but let me know down in the comments if you've seen this in your local GameStop, because personally I don't have it. Now once it does eventually come to America, which I'm sure it will, I'm going to be getting my hand on a physical copy. These days game companies are really trying their best to make it so you don't actually own the games that you pay for anymore. So tinfoil hat on, it's better to be safe than sorry in my opinion. Now looking a bit deeper at the back of the case, you can see the total size of the entire game is 35 gigs. Now huge shout out to Genki for showing this off. I'm going to have his Twitter down in the description if you want to check him out. They actually post a lot of things PlayStation gaming related, so if you are into PlayStation gaming, which you probably are if you're watching this video, then maybe go check them out. Now either way, it does look like the game is going to be relatively small. I'm personally going to reserve like 50 to 70 gigs just in case. They very well could have been good at compressing the game really well. If I'm not mistaken, like a Dragon did this really well and a few other games, so there's a very good chance that they compressed it really well. You're going to need to download maybe like 35 more gigs, but either way, like 70 isn't going to be too bad if that is the case. But yeah, just maybe reserve 70 or so gigs and you'll probably be pretty good to go. But speaking of download, for those of you who are not able to get a hard copy, the pre-download date was actually revealed recently, which will be on April the 24th. This means you have a total of 48 hours to pre-download or wait until the day of to actually get the game. Just keep in mind, leading into the launch of Stellar Blade, I'm going to not only be keeping up to date with details like in this video, but a few days before the launch, I will remind you to preload, so maybe consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on Stellar Blade and all things PlayStation in general. So moving on, I did finally want to talk about some of the combat details I mentioned a moment ago, and we got a bit of insight on the UI element. The main thing being the burst gauge. This is gathered by, from what I can tell, evading attacks and seemingly parrying attacks as well. Once the bar fills up, you can basically use it to execute powerful skills. I don't think it needs to be 100% full. I'm assuming each skill is going to have a certain amount requirement to execute the skill. If they get more powerful, they're probably going to cost more, but we'll have to see, of course. But every single time I look at the combat of Stellar Blade, there's always something being revealed that actually goes to show that the combat is way more in depth than I and a lot of people actually thought. The devs did say the combat was inspired by a lot of great games like Sekiro and Nier Automata, and it's definitely showing now. Either way, day by day, we're getting closer and closer to the launch of Stellar Blade, and personally, my excitement is rising. Speaking of rising, the video on screen now goes over more awesome details of the soon to be released Rise of the Ronin. Check it out.